You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. Ahadin sosine bigebi rone bigebi. He said. You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we're making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
How do you cage Nnamdi Kanu? In fact, I want to call that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. a freedom fight agitator who said that, look, he wants liberation for his people. Why are you incarcerating him? Why are you not going to arrest Fulani men? Look at the bomb blast in train blast in Abuja to Kaduna. Up to today, our people are still being kept by these bandits. Where are the security? Where is the president? Where is the security act to go out and rescue these people? Tell me what is happening. It is a shame. Tell me, Igboho, they went after him in the southwest and were able to stop him. At least we're not hearing about Igboho again. Why can't they stop these Fulani men who are terrorizing this country and have made it impossible? They come to Benue and kill. Just in my local government, within the space of 40 people have been killed. More than 40 people. In another local government, over 20 people were killed. And then you want me to keep quiet? They want to intimidate us. I will never be intimidated. At least, let me talk. If at the end nothing happens, and some of you are keeping quiet, keep quiet to your shame. But I want to say that the rest of Nigerians, you people are joking. I raised alarm in 2016 that these things were going to happen. What is it that I have not said? I have said it. If Nigerians want to get out of this, they should arise. Arise Television, as your name implies. Arise and let us liberate ourselves. President Buhari and his cohorts are not able to do.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration, of Congress.
Ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again specifically targeting the IPOB.
Of weapons being used against Biafrans, but affirmatively supporting an effort to have a independence referendum organized and conducted by the United Nations, as was done in South Sudan.
They formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
There's been nothing in experience since 1960 to suggest there simply is not a way, given the history of division between the Fulani and the Biafrans, to think that they can coexist under a single sovereign roof.
Newspapers, you were listening to some idiots hired by zoo government to rubbish Biafra. You are listening to them, gossiping about me. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu is a fraudster, he's a thief. And what did Nnamdi Kanu steal? Nothing. Did he defraud you? Nothing. Then why are you calling him a thief? They cannot answer. That was why Simon Ekpa took time to demolish the little toad. Toad, bravo. Demolished him by your Tony Maya. Demolished your Coco and dumped him in the gutter and the sewage. Objectively, you're asking me for a map of Biafra, and when the map was there, Ojukwu fought with. You're asking me for my road maps, I will give you, you can give to Janjaweed. The idiots, they never planned to go to America. It was when I decided to go to the US for 30th of May last year. They also came up to say, oh, we are going to America as well. Anywhere I go to, if I hold a town hall meeting, they'll go and be gossiping, yapping at the back. Oh, now they cannot start the struggle. He's a thief. You ask them, what have you contributed to IPOB? No. Then what did he steal from you? I don't know if their plan of new Nigeria movement with Yoruba. Let's destroy Nnamdi Kanu. And as we have destroyed them, the glutinous was bigger. You're fighting for Biafra and you're building a mansion without sewage system. You don't know those houses will be knocked down in Biafra. We are going to knock down every building and we will rebuild everything. They convince all of them, even the pipeline security guard, a
Asian Creek. They are part of sign agreement. New Nigeria. Let's move for New Nigeria. Me, you talk to me about New Nigeria. You're a madman. A child of Biafra. You're to discuss New Nigeria. Thunder will kill, destroy you and your lineage. These are the idiots. When the Fulanis are coming, they are coming here. The Gambari, they are coming. So when I was telling you before, you didn't know. So you did not know before. You were deaf and dumb. When I was telling you before that they are coming, you didn't know. They married that they were coming. Useless set of people. Psychophants. IPOB is consistency personified. We don't change. It doesn't matter what you do. You can write your garbage. You can yap and gossip from now till 2099. That is your business. We don't move an iota. Where we are is where we are. Our agenda is our agenda. We are not shaking. Not to the right, not to the left. Unshakable. Gossip from now till the kingdom come. Unshakable. Indestructible. This movement is indestructible. Not by man. They have not given birth to you to convince me to join New Nigeria movement. A bunch of criminals and bastards everywhere. I am a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. I don't engage in all this nonsense. Biafra is my mission. My parents died as soon as Elohim said it is there. Look at it, I've given it to you people. And he called them. Then I move forward and then get Biafra. Nonsense. New Nigeria. Thunder fire all of you and your new Nigeria. Check it, Uno. Simon demolished your coco. And Simon is doing a good job, by the way. And I want him to stay on it. Not when I praise you, it goes into your brain. You start misbehaving after 2 weeks. We give you IPOB treatment. I want you to remain on the path of truth and diligence. Truth and diligence. Because you're doing a good job. Continue doing it. We need many of you to come up and be speaking. My goodness, if it's only me, they'll say, oh, maybe he's mad. Well, we have a lot of mad people, then you'll understand. You'll be forced to reason and think. Idiots everywhere. Every blessed.
Thank Simon for bringing it up. I think is the Simon very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue. And let the demon not go into him. Remain focused, applied, and you know our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon for actually bringing it up. I think is the Simon does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue. And let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know our part of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and by yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon for actually bringing it up. Is the Simon does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue. And let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. Application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory.
I'm asking a very pertinent question. Is Nigeria working for you? Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, knew the solutions to Boko Haram till he finally became president. He asked ex-President Jonathan to resign because of insecurity. He cried empathetically. He promised to end Boko Haram in 3 months. But now, he's telling us he's done his best to arm the military. Why isn't he resigning? Governor Fashola knew the solutions to providing stable power supply till he became Minister of Power, and darkness pervaded the land. After trying hard and giving excuses like he only plays a supervisory role, the ministry was assigned to someone else. Power grid, still they collapse. The NSAS protests were tagged insurrection. In fact, someone said Aisha Yusufu ought to be in jail for instigating violence. Then farmers were beheaded in Borno. Same person asked Aisha Yusufu to lead a protest. Aren't these people supposed to forbid hypocrisy? Is Nigeria working for any Nigerian today? From leaders hoarding food for the poor, receiving kickbacks from government contracts, to farmers needing permission to go to their farms. Is Nigeria working for you? Why is Zamfara's gold for Zamfara and Niger Delta oil for Nigeria? Why is Hisba destroying alcohol, but their state governments receive federal allocation from monies received via taxation, including tax on alcoholic beverages? Why are some federal roads abandoned to bandits and kidnappers? Who is in charge of Nigeria's security? The president is talking tough this time. Most times, he's as shocked by the rest of us by the absence of good governance under him. Regardless of his campaign promises and the manifesto of his political party, Nigeria has rolled back in terms of development. From Naira continually losing its value to our recently launched locomotive trains breaking down in the middle of nowhere. Nigeria has to be working for some people though. The government can do no wrong. To this set of people, their money isn't being stolen, even if the money is being borrowed, leaving debts for their own children to pay in future. Even if the leaders don't use public institutions, from sending their children to Ivy League schools abroad to getting medical treatment abroad, some people who have nothing and we need to donate money for their medical bills if they have a serious ailment, continue to hail the obvious lack of good governance till Nigeria happens to them. Then they get a little pissed. May Nigeria never happen to you. Say amen. We deserve better than the political class who go home with millions monthly to represent people who can't even afford to feed themselves. I am Olajumoke Alaode James. Nigeria is not working for me. Is Nigeria working for you?
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it. Farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Atiku is my leader, my boss, and a senior brother. If he is in Allah 10, aspiring does not say I should not keep my relationship that is very cordial and everything. I'm aspiring. Remember, I always say, Atiku is in fire. He believes in Nigeria. He's a good man.
Look here, look here, look here.
If you don't take time, 2023 election, everybody go regret time. You dey pay me say just now, Lekki massacre don't turn to news we don't pass. Everybody don't forget people who they kill. People who bullet shop their hands, the ones who lost leg and the people they suffer pain still now as I talk to you. 28th of October 2020 na day we will not supposed forget. Youth they protest SARS. Now that one make security operatives tear gas. Some lab bitter oh no be joke. That particular day make many people use WeChat today. That particular day make many mama and papa to sow ground with hot tears. As I talk to you, some families never feel recovered from their loved ones when no return.
Wicked leaders, wicked people. At the peaceful protesting, like you guys are shooting randomly, regardless of what the bullets hit or not.
Atiku is my leader, my boss, and a senior brother. If he invites me for anything, I'll attend. Aspiring does not say I should not.
Good evening, my fellow Biafrans all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. Thank you today for this wonderful day again, even though we are coming late. This is a special broadcast today, the 16th day of 2022. I welcome you once again to yet another wonderful evening. Let us have a commercial.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible.
This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Oba Biasika and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not even about the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything. to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
Welcome back. Welcome back. IPOB autopilot worldwide. WOTO WOTO is the code. IPOB autopilot worldwide. WOTO WOTO is the code. IPOB autopiloted liberation movement for the restoration of Biafra. WOTO WOTO is the code. I want to thank you today that we are making progress. We are making progress, and we are indeed making progress. The reason I have come this evening is to inform Biafrans that nothing, absolutely nothing have changed. Absolutely nothing have changed. The court have ordered the release, of course, unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, our leader. And since the order was given till today, the 16th day of October 2022, the terrorist government of Nigeria is yet to free and release him. And so, the time we gave them to release him elapsed and end today. Biafrans are going to speak in a language they will not understand. I want you to understand that we are fighting for our freedom, and we are going to fight anyhow. Anyhow, I will anything that we have. We were also told that they are going to let our leader go. We are not agitating for the freedom of our leader on credit. We've made it very clear from the day one, what we are doing is cash and carry. Money for hand, back for ground. We are not interested in speeches. We are not interested in articles. What we are interested is until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out as a free man. So long as the Nigeria state have not respected their own court, have not respected their own decision, we are not changing anything. So for this reason, tomorrow still there will be sit at home in entire Biafra land. The Monday sit at home has not been cancelled. The Monday sit at home will be increased in the volume and the compliance. And of course, as the ultimatum given have ended today,
they will hear from us. I want to use this opportunity to tell every Biafran, especially those who are part of this movement, what we are doing, to be very, very vigilant. We have entered a very dangerous stage of this agitation and the liberation of Biafra. We want all of you to be alive. We want all of you to see Biafra next year. Your movement and activities from now matters a lot. Watch your environment. Pay attention to your environment. Watch your movement. And trust nobody. Inasmuch as I ask you today to trust nobody, you must all have trust with those who walk very closely with you. You must be your comrade keeper, your brother's keeper. You watch each other's back. You will benefit nothing by betraying your own brother. If you, at this particular point in time, you have not seen the coming of Biafra by 2023, you need to wake up. You need to wake up if by this time you have not seen that Biafra is indeed coming in 2023 and the Biafra is already here. I want you to understand there is nothing in this life that is going to stop the restoration of Biafra in 2023. And at the same time, we have entered a very, very delicate time. And that is why it is very important that you are going to be very, very security conscious. The Nigeria terrorist state are doing everything to crush Biafra. And we are not saying that it is a surprise to us. We are not saying that we are not aware of that. It is part of the game. Do not give yourself very easily and very cheap to the enemies. Always listen to instructions. If you feel that your number, your telephone number has been compromised, I order you this evening to change your number with immediate effect. Those of you that your telephone numbers has been compromised and your telephone number is in the hand of those who are ready to do anything to betray Biafra, claiming that over their dead body will Simon Ekpa, according to them, bring Biafra. For this reason, they have chosen to give your information away to the enemies. Because to you, it does not matter. To you, you have decided that the work and the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never be allowed to disappear and destroyed by the betrayers of this movement. So this evening, if what I am saying touches you and you feel that this message may be directed to you today and you feel your number has been compromised and that those people that you are suspecting of giving information to the Nigeria state just to crush whatever the part you are playing for Biafra to come next year, have given information to the state to track you and abduct you and kidnap you and kill you, you better from tonight deactivate your number. We want you to be part of those that will see Biafra in 2023. We know they are going to kill us. We are going to kill them too for self-defense. And at the end, Biafra will come. But do not give yourself very cheap to the enemies. Do not, out of ignorance that nothing will happen, they are not going to do me anything, give yourself very cheap to the enemies. Some of you are going to be in the hand of the enemy for just ignoring this particular advice I am giving to you today. And I pray that you will not be in the hand of the enemies. Now listen very, very attentively. If you know that your number has been compromised, you change your number, deactivate your number, save those contacts that you know that you trusted, and those you feel that you want to continue to keep communication with. When you deactivate your number and get a new number, let those you trust be the only one that you communicate with your new number between now and February 2023. Very important. You need to take a very decisive decision. You need to take a very, very difficult step. The time has come you make a very difficult decision. For the next 140 days will be the most difficult days in the entire history of Biafra struggle. You must survive these 140 days at all costs. And those of you who the enemies are using to hunt your fellow Biafrans, to hunt your fellow agitators, the time has come that the spirit of Biafra possesses you. From tonight, as we end the ultimatum to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the court, the shenanigan court ordered, it is the time from tonight you become very, very security conscious. If you know that you are part of this particular movement and you have something to offer, adhere to this advice and this announcement I am giving this evening. We need you, and we need you like never before from tonight to the next 140 days. We are now counting the days, and of course, when some of them will be laughing and mocking at us, they will be mocking us that Biafra, they are laughing at us when we told them that Biafra is coming in 2023. They laugh at us. They say, Obi this, Obi that. I want you to understand that you can never redeem, you can never salvage Nigeria. From tonight, as we end this ultimatum that we gave to the Fulani terrorist government, as we end this ultimatum that we gave to them tonight, I want you to understand that we'll need you. You are very, very important to this Biafra movement. Your contribution to this movement is now, we need it more than ever before. I want to use this opportunity to thank parents and the Biafra youth that participated yesterday during the first ever Biafra Youth ESN fundraising. The world have seen that the Biafra youth are now aware. They have shown how desperate they are for the freedom, and we will continue to make our children to know how important it is for them to have their freedom and their future secured. Yesterday, the Biafra kids, Biafra youth, they demonstrated their love, their craviness, as they crave to get their freedom and their future secured. Goes to show that we have done a very good job as we continue to keep the fire burning. I want you also to understand that those who want to fight against Biafra from emerging as a nation in 2023 are not going to rest. As we are planning, they are planning. As we are planning, they are planning. As we are using their own employees against them, they are also using some sellout money mongers and betrayals among us against us. And so we are not worried, because the way they use those with us is the same way we use those with them against them. It is 50-50. But I'm going to tell you that we will be more smart, and we have always outsmarted them. And that is why it is very important that you watch around yourself. You watch those you have dealings with. And anytime you suspect anything, don't give it a second thought. You make a decisive decision until you confirm whether that particular thing you suspect is real, truth, or not. We are not going to allow ignorance to make us lose anybody. And so this evening, I want to also thank the IPOB Autopilot media team. When I talk about media team, I talk about all of you that are on social media. Some of you have been blackmailed, accused, and some of you, they are still planning how to blackmail you. But I want you to understand that the blackmailing is part of this particular dirty freedom fighting. Some of you have now disagreement with your old friends. Some of you are no longer talking with your friends because of one blackmailing and propaganda. I want you to understand that it is part of this dirty freedom fighting. You need to develop and create a new file in your heart where you are going to be putting those whom you feel somehow have disappointed you as we continue the journey from today. Those of them that have betrayed you personally, but they are still having something to do with the majority of those in autopilot. Create a file in your heart and put them in that file and watch them with one eye, and let us move on from this evening for the next 140 days. Those of them and those of you that will also be disappointed by the activities of those that you looked up to, you must create a file in your heart. Put them in that file and watch them with your one eye as we sail through the next 140 days. These 140 days will be the most important days in your entire Biafra struggle. How you manage these days will determine whether your input for the past years you have been part of the Biafra struggle is for positive or for negative. It does not matter your contribution in the past. It does not matter what you have done in the past. If you did not hang on to run this race up to the next 140 days, every of your effort in the past will become a waste on your side. If you are committed before, for you to sustain this commitment, you need to have another extra 20% to add to what you have done in the past. I want to tell you this story. In this Biafra freedom in 2023, from this night, we are now in the last phase of the marathon race. The marathon race is not always those who started leading the race will win. It's not always those who started leading the race will end to the finishing line. Everything you see today happening is divine. And those who have programmed this particular struggle to be what it is today will see how the programmed autopilot is going to lead Biafra to freedom. Under the leadership and spiritual supervision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want you all to understand from today, our leader will continue to be the head of Biafra movement. Whether in his present, whether in his absent. And of course, we know when to take order from him and when not to take order from him. And everything we do today is for the best interest of Biafra and of course, for the best interest of his sacrifice. If anybody is telling you that Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will give up on Biafra, ignore them. Because they never know how prepared we are. Today, I can announce to Biafrans for the very first time that nations, countries, are now interested. We are now engaging countries that are interested in Biafra. And some of them have given their green light. It is going to shock many people because they will never believe. But I can assure you this evening that countries are now engaging Biafrans. And this is the greatest news in my entire life. That now, as the day goes by, our strength is increasing. So do not think that what we are doing, that we are alone. We are not alone. Many countries are now showing interest. And whoever we go to, it becomes confidential until the right time. That is why sometimes I look at what is going on, I say the things of the Spirit. People may never understand it. I am not here to entice anybody. But what I have to say this evening is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only person that Simon Ekpa will listen to. At the same time, I assure Biafrans can assure Biafrans, when you hear me say this, don't worry. Because the spirit of Biafra is the one leading this movement. I did not join Biafra movement for a better Nigeria. I did not join Biafra movement for Igbo president. I did not join Biafra movement because Igbos are being marginalized. I did not join Biafra movement because of Igbo. I joined Biafra movement because one is that our people have and they deserve to live. Two is that I want to be part of those who make history of bringing one of the best nations in the world. 3 is that I want to be part of those who will secure the life and future of one of the most smart, brilliant nations in the world. I want my name to be in the history book for good. I've always said it. Whatever you do in this life, let your hand be clean. Those who are always living with lies and propaganda will not stand the test of time. If you have built your life and build agitation of Biafra in lies and propaganda, if what you do in Biafra struggle is to sell lies and propaganda, you will never be strong in Biafra struggle until Biafra comes. Your lifespan in the Biafra movement is very limited. The only time you are going to make impact, and your impact will be felt in the Biafra liberation, is you build your life on truth. Diligent. Always stand by the truth. It does not matter what happened to you. It does not matter how they blackmail you. It does not matter how they attack you. At the end, you are going to win. I want you to understand that lies only last for a while. You need a lie to cover a lie. You need another lie to cover another lie. You need another lie to be able to cover another lie. And at a point, you may not know how to lie again. And by the time people notice that you are lying, that will be your end. That's exactly what God has demonstrated so far for the last 6 months. Those who pretend that they are good and they are for the best interest of Biafra and for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it does not matter how much you pretend. If you are not truthful, one day you will be exposed. You can never outsmart the spirit of Biafra. You can never outsmart the Biafra people at the end of the day. Some of you that have made Simon Ekpa your enemy, Simon Ekpa will become your enemy. Some of you that have made Simon Ekpa your Nigeria, Simon Ekpa will become your Biafra. Some of you that made Simon Ekpa the agitation or the freedom you are fighting for, Simon Ekpa will give you WOTO WOTO. Some of them that have come today as they struggle to manipulate the history of what has happened for the past 1 year. When God will expose you, you will regret ever thinking about it. Nothing is hidden on the surface of the earth. The reason why Simon Ekpa stand very tall today is because I stand on the truth. and I stand on the legacies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done that is crime or punishable by any law. There is nothing. That's exactly where I stand. I could remember sometimes in 2020, I told Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that whatever you do, I will follow you. And I said, the reason I joined this struggle is that if you do not have what could bring Biafra, I will bring something to support you. And that is exactly what I have done and I continue to do until after these 140 days from today. Those of you who think that you can manipulate the mind of people to hate Simon Ekpa, you are going to be disgraced. Those of you who think that with propaganda you can somehow destroy the plan that Autopilot and Simon Ekpa has for Biafra, you will be disgraced. You will be disgraced. I have challenged anybody who think that Simon Ekpa has ulterior motive to come forward and tell us why he believes that Simon Ekpa is not for Biafra. The propaganda that they fly on social media, they started after we destroyed Anonymous. They say Simon Ekpa collected $2.7 million. I want you people to understand that the people we are dealing with are evil. They go to the underworld to find information about the future. They see the future, they may not see it very clearly. So when they see the future, they come back and reinforce themselves to work against the future. But I want you to understand that nobody fight me and remain the same. It is not by my power, but by the power of nature and truth. These criminals, gang, Anonymous, and their group, led by China Sanworu, the Mohammed Abbas in Kuwait, that were feeding fat on the blood of innocent Biafrans. Of course, they consult witch doctors to know what Simon Ekpa will do. And they use the Anonymous to speak to Biafrans. Anonymous, they say, Simon Ekpa will be the worst thing that happened to IPOB. Did you all remember? They say Simon Ekpa is the worst thing that will happen to IPOB. But that's a lie. Simon Ekpa is not the worst thing that happened to IPOB. Simon Ekpa is one of the good things and the good gift of Biafra spirit to IPOB, to genuine IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All of you saw that. Do you think that that particular update kept coming from Anonymous was more of a exposition of a hacker or more of a exposition of people that have consulted witch doctors? I want you to think deep this evening. The people who call themselves Anonymous is being led by the Mohammed Abbas in Kuwait, with all these ones in Africa countries. They said Anonymous begin to post that Simon Ekpa is the worst thing that will happen to IPOB. That is not coming from people that are hackers. Rather, it's coming from a witch doctor. A witch doctor who have told them that Simon Ekpa will end every criminality in IPOB. So they are not actually talking about the genuineness of the Biafra struggle, but they are talking about the criminals, the criminality and criminal activity in the Biafra movement, which, if you allow to continue, you will never get close to Biafra. You will never get close to Biafra. That is why everything happening today is divine. Those articles were shared by all of them, that Simon Ekpa will be the worst thing that happened to IPOB. I want you to understand that they have consulted and they have done consultations. And they told them, kick Simon Ekpa out of the way at all costs. A week ago, we rounded up the exposition or the analysis of the confession, part 1. And I said, we are going to round up the part 1 confession because the part 2 confession is coming. There is nothing I have said that have not happened. The only thing that is yet to happen is that Biafra will come in 2023. And we are getting there. I want you to connect the dots. They said that Simon Ekpa will be the worst thing that happened to IPOB. And these some people who said Simon Ekpa will be the worst thing that will happen to IPOB, they started shouting that Simon Ekpa is nobody, thinking that it is going to move market when they say Simon Ekpa is nobody. Yet, the spirit of Biafra continued to catapult Simon Ekpa to the limelight. Now, last week, I told you people that part 2 of the confession is coming. Here we are. One thing is that they can never run away and escape this particular confession. Today, the same people who have kept Biafrans in the dark for the past 1.5 years have now come to say they know what happened to our leader in Kenya. For the past 1 year, yesterday, they have come for the very first time to say they are aware that they know what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, but they want to keep it secret. But that is the same thing Kanu have revealed in one of his interviews. He said that these criminals in the leadership knows what they know more than him. Do you remember that? These evil people, after 1 year, they have come to say they are aware of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they want to keep it secret. And Kanu said that they know more than him. and they kept quiet. It is now that we have released the power against them that you see them confessing. I told you people that the part 2 is coming, and it is here. And in this whole thing, I have always told you people, I have no problem with some of them. I have no problem with Canon Takano. The only problem I had with Canon Takano is the fact that they did not inform anybody that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have problem. The problem I had with the secretary was that she did not also inform anybody that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have problem. And for that reason, they contributed to the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. That's all. There are many things. And I have made myself very clear. That is my anger. As somebody that is pure. If I had known that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in Kenya, maybe God would have used me somehow. But at the same time, Biafra is a spirit. Certain things that we can't control. The spirit of Biafra will let it to happen. And that's why we are where we are today. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can give a prophecy that in the next 2 weeks before he was kidnapped, that things are going to happen, it means that even the spirit of Biafra already informed him that something is going to happen. So whatever you see happening today is a divine mandate. I want to tell you today that these people who say instead of Simon Ekpa getting Biafra, they will kill themselves, they are on the loose to do everything to destroy Biafra from coming. But I don't know that Biafra cannot be destroyed by a man. They never born that person. I want you to understand that I have confessed. First of all, it is on the record that the Mohammed Abbas in Kuwait, for the very first time after over 1 year, have come to tell Biafrans that they, in the leadership, are aware of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they keep it secret. And they allow Canon Takano, who also I could blame. They cornered him, and all of them were against Simon Ekpa. They think that Simon Ekpa have come to hijack Biafra's struggle from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is not my mission. My mission is to help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get Biafra. And I'm going to do that. The same people today, after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talked about pipeline security, the way he talked about them, today, these same criminals that are now after how to make money, because it is all about money. they have come to announce that they have become pipeline security in the hinterland. Tompolo reached out to BNL, which is in alliance with Autopilot IPOB, the thing they could not do for many years. We have done it within 6 months. The unification they could not do for the entire lifespan in IPOB because they were never interested in Biafra. We did it. Because anytime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu make a move to unify agitators, they have always sabotaged it. Anytime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu make a move to know the plight of the ESN, the Mohammed Abbas in Kuwait, we always tell him, our leader, everything is taken care of, everything is fine, everything is fine. Why people were dying in the camps, why people were being sabotaged and subjugated to all manner of inhuman treatment in ESN camp. Some of you remember when video circulated, the video of ESN circulated on social media, that the ESN is not being cared for, that they are not feeling fine. Some medical doctors who were in America visited the Eastern Security Network in a camp, carried out some kind of investigation. The video were leaked on social media. The reason why the video was leaked on social media was because when these people contacted Onyendu, this criminal Chinas Amuru, all of them, they say it's a propaganda, it's a lie. That is nothing like that. And the next thing, boom, on social media, the video circulated. When Onyendu want to make a move to do something for the people of Biafra, these criminals have always sabotaged him. They call him Onyendu, we have taken care of it. And no problem, everything is taken care of. And the next thing is that they will make whoever that wanted to salvage that situation to become the enemy of Onyendu. They will call the person Sabo. And because you will not have opportunity to defend yourself, you will not have opportunity to explain. The evil in IPOB was overwhelming. Today, I can assure you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out and IPOB will never remain the same, because now only the genuine agitators will be part of this Onyendu. And this will lead to Biafra next year. The program I'm having this evening is completely a very special program. And if you miss this opportunity to listen live to the world from the under the sea, it will never be the same when you listen to me after the live program have ended. So you are privileged to listen to the first word as they come from the deep of the sea. I want you to understand that they look down on me. They say they are going to close Simon Ekpa chapter like they did to other people. I looked at them and laughed. I have not even started. You are going to know me very soon. I am born for this Biafra to come. And when I told them that I have almost the same history like Onyendu, they use it to do program. And I don't know when you are going to learn a lesson. I will be your last bus stop. It is not just it is not just ordinary talking. I will be your last bus stop. And those who are still preparing, I will be your last bus stop. And those who actually have become their last bus stop, demonstrated it, and they are gone. You can never rise up again. Those who are still, demonstrating the sign of a dying horse, I will be your last bus stop. Today, they are now coming out openly to say they want to become pipeline security guard just to fight against Biafra. Pipeline security guard. It is not what we are known for. We don't guard the pipeline. But I want you to understand one thing. The award, the contract given to Tompolo do not have men to execute that contract of pipeline security. He don't have men. And Tompolo knows that he don't have men to effectively execute that contract. So what does Tompolo do? Tompolo now goes and start influencing some people that were never genuine in Biafra struggle, buy them off to begin to guard the pipeline. But let me tell you, the agenda and the end result is not to guard pipeline. It is to sabotage the Biafra movement. You can imagine where the Mohammed Abbas Chinasa criminal Nworo in Kuwait shouting on Radio Biafra that Tompolo approached him. And you know what that means, whether it is truth or not. And of course, it is always they approach him and he did not collect money, so he decided to execute the contract without collecting money. The same way they approach them during the sit at home. They offer them money. In addition to the money, whoever that were involved in the leaking of the information of where Onyendu, the whereabouts of Onyendu, they begin to open office on Simon Ekpa and sit at home. They say the commissioner told them, bring account, let me give you 40 million. Rewrite the order of Monday sit at home. After few days, the order of Monday sit at home were rewritten. They rewritten it. And so the question you should be asking yourself is that the rewrite this order, was it free of charge? Did they reject the 40 million? And they say, okay, we are not collecting the money, but we are going to rewrite it. Considering how they love money, now they have come again. Tompolo reached out to us. Somebody that Nigeria government have awarded billions of naira security, pipeline security contract. He don't have men to execute that contract. Come and become a... When did Chinasa Nworo, a criminal, begin to guide pipeline? When did IPOB begin to guard pipeline? When did the Biafra agitators become a pipeline security. We can never be. Even if we want to guide pipeline security, we are not going to guard it for Nigeria. And in Biafra, there is no need to have pipeline security because we are not going to have insecurity of the pipeline in Biafra Republic. 4 billion naira monthly. And that is why everything that anybody is doing for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, they sabotage it. So today, instead of Biafra will come and Simon Ekpa is doing something, they are going to destroy it. They have failed. Not even Tompolo will stop Biafra from coming next year. Tompolo, I respect so much, and he knows it. He knows it very well. I respect him. He's a businessman. But you can't use the freedom of your people to do business. It was because of my comment and broadcast on Tompolo that made them to come to Radio Biafra to start shouting that Tompolo contacted them. Because to them, hey, I am now fighting Tompolo, so let us go closer to Tompolo and make Tompolo our friend for one Nigeria. I don't need friend of anybody. My only friend is freedom. Anybody that wants freedom is my friend. If you don't want freedom, I'm not your friend, no matter who you are. And I know that it will benefit Tompolo and his people to be free from Nigeria, where they are going to be paid 3%, and this 3% does not go to the development of Niger Delta. They have what they call the NDDC. NDDC, they pump money into NDDC. The effect of NDDC is not being felt anywhere in the Niger Delta region. But every year, you are going to be hearing billions and billions of dollars that is being pumped into NDDC. But it's not being felt anywhere. There is no school, there is no hospital, there is no good road, there is no sewage system, there is no nothing. People are living on top of water in the worst state. For how long will you continue that? So, those who say that they have come and now it is their turn to fight Simon Ekpa, I will tell you, Simon Ekpa will be your end also. I am telling you the fact. It does not matter who you are. The fame you enjoy, if you think that Simon Ekpa is the next person you are going to target, that will be your end. I am telling you the fact. Before Biafra come next year, you will be forgotten. When these particular criminals in DOS, expelled criminals, when they want to attack me, I warned them for more than 6 months. I was begging them, leave me the hell alone. That when I start, I will not stop. All the people that were attacking me today, they have come to know the truth. But have they apologized? The answer is no. Those of them who immediately they wanted to silence me, they created their own page. They started making broadcasts like this man called Ezeji. This man Ezeji in UK. He has disappeared. I remember how he bragged how he's going to end Simon Ekpa. He come with Ofo on live TV. He come on live broadcast and do Ofo. How long? Ordinary wind that blowed, they blow him away. He disappeared. That SAG. How many of you remember him? He's in the UK. Simon Ekpa is nobody. I am this, I am that. Ordinary blow. He disappeared. Till today. All of them were the one going and calling from one platform to other, telling how they are going to deal with Simon Ekpa. Where are they today? They are gone. That SAG of a man. I know that after mentioning his name, he's going to come out without shame. Because that is what they do. Anybody I mention his name, the person will summon courage to come and say, yes, I am still here. I have not disappeared. But you have not heard from him since last year. They disappeared. He was the one who mentioned that they have removed Onyendu name. They accused him of receiving letter of IPOB when he is not receiving the letter. Ordinary small black male. They accuse him that he is the one receiving letter. And he is not the one receiving the letter. They say he was the one who passed the information to us. How did we know that Onyendu name was removed? That he was the one leaking the information. And this person have not come publicly to apologize to God, not to me, because you have wronged the God of Biafra. You know, what I'm doing today is to give Biafra people the sense of belonging, you know, because before it has been, you know, this gossip and saga and all that. So this evening is going to be, I am giving you the word from the deep blue sea. When people are saying the less you look, or the more you look, the less you see, in our own dictionary, we don't have that. What we have is that the less you look, the more you see. He came with the Ofo. They called me fake God. They say I have fake God. I have Korea God. I have this one. I have that. My God is in heaven. And only God knows that. He came and attacked me. Today, ordinary one black male of collecting letter of IPOB and hiding it. They destroyed him. He's gone. I also want you people to understand that when this thing started, there is another one in London, you know, because I may not have the opportunity to have a program like this again from today. So it is time for me to talk to you, Biafrans, for record. The one they called Ume in London, also, all of them, they had a program. Every day, Simon Ekpa, every day, Ekpa this, every day, Ekpa that. Today, the thing I did 6 months ago is what they are doing now. I have done it. I left. That same thing I did is what they are doing now. And they are yet to apologize to the spirit of Biafra for having accused me wrongly, for having blackmailed me, for having tried to destroy my reputation. For no reason. As I'm talking to you today, none of these people have any evidence against Simon Ekpa. Nothing to show again that this is what Simon Ekpa did. What I did that made them to hate me was that I refused the devil to enter me. I want to ask you, Biafrans. So if I had danced to the tone of these criminals in DOS, by agreeing to what they are doing, by allowing them to penetrate me, is it now that we come and start doing exposition of DOS? Is it now? You think that anybody will listen to anybody? Is it now? By now, ESN is gone. By now, they must have destroyed our men on ground. So if I had followed the path of these criminals in DOS who want to destroy the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is it now when there is, when there will be no ESN, that they will come, I will come and I will be telling Biafrans that, oh, these people have destroyed ESN, oh, these people have destroyed the Biafra, oh, we are now into pipeline security, oh, we are now into obedient, oh, we are now, is that what you want me to be doing now? Because that is what exactly the people that fought me, and they are now, their eyes are clear. That's exactly what they are doing. By now, everything would have been destroyed. Of course, you will never understand because I did not allow them to use me. All these people that are coming after 1 year to be telling you how they are criminals, how they are looting money, how they are using their money to fix car, how they are doing this and doing that. Is that what you wanted me to do? By now, after 1 year of incarceration, of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu incarceration, I will come now and start telling you this is what they are, this is what. By then, everything is gone. Where are we going to start? I am giving you my own is I say it, you have evidence. I have told you Ezeji attacked me. Today, he is no more. He's an evidence. He is alive. I told you the one they call Ume, who say he is a IPOB headmaster. He attacked me. The thing I did that made him to attack me is the same thing he is doing today in the United Kingdom. It's evidence. I am not making anything up. It is not propaganda. Everything I have done that made him to attack me because they don't know where I come from. They don't know what I know. The thing they are seeing today, I saw it before even joining IPOB. The one they call Sampe Master, he has gone. I told him, if you do not apologize to the God, your power will be gone. Today, Sampe Master cannot dream again. I am telling you, it is not mouth. The gods have taken his power, if he had any, away. Let him come and challenge me now. Let him come and use Ofo to do something. Let us see. He is gone. I am saying this on live video. It is not bragging. They have become powerless. Sampe Master can no longer dream his dreams. His dream is gone. The first person that started this whole thing is the one in Turkey, the illiterate in Turkey. He came and said, Simon Ekpa have ordered a week or 2 weeks sit at home for Christian, that IPOB cannot be part of it, and he knows he lied. He came with Osoji on live video. He came with Osoji. He said, this is Osoji. I am giving this Osoji. Simon Ekpa is the one who come to give order sit at home. He is the one who come. He say everybody sit at home. He bring Osoji. While the person that started the Christian sit at home is Dr. Malafia, and the video is there on social media. He brought Osoji because he don't understand broken. He don't understand the English. He cannot research. He saw a very clear lie. He came to tell that it was Simon Ekpa. With Osoji, I told him, you are gone. Today, is he not gone? I know that after, you know how they do. Once I mention their name, the next day they will spring up. They have mentioned my name. Let us go on social media. That Simon Ekpa that is nobody to them has mentioned my name. Let us go to social media and people are going to look for me because he has mentioned my name. That was how I played the other guy video who is in Germany. I played his video after his own confession. I told him to take the case to court. I told him to take the case to court. He must take the case to court. I played his video. He jumped out. Bam! I want to defend myself. I want to debunk Simon Ekperima. I want to debunk that thing in Finland. Because he feels so important after mentioning his name. He came with with a suit and MP. He ordered MP like this. Soludo, Simon Ekpa is responsible for the killing in Anambra State. He has now become, he has summoned courage and have energy. He feels so important that now Simon Ekpa play his video, Soludo will listen to him. So, Simon Ekpa, that is nobody. He is now calling Soludo because he thinks that now Simon Ekpa have called his name. So, Soludo, he is very important now, and Soludo must listen to him. He called again, Soludo, I told you, Simon Ekpa is the one. So, I know, as I'm mentioning these names today, they are going to come online from tomorrow or maybe next tomorrow to show that they are still alive. There is another one who they call, I was watching the other one who is having a program with the one they call Ume from London. He is calling the one they call one Australian page or something, or that he is sick. It is because he attacked him and all that. But that man they called the Australian page, he has been attacking Simon Ekpa, blackmailing Simon Ekpa. And they say he is sick. And the one who have attacked Simon Ekpa is saying that he have a spirit that anybody who attack him will not end well. You can never, that your spirit, if you had any, can never be effective when you are owing somebody apology. When you are owing the gods that follows me apology. You don't know what follows me. You don't know. So there is no way that your power can be effective again until you apologize to the gods that follows me. So what am I trying to say this evening? I'm trying to make some general, analysis of what has transpired in the last 1.5 years. The other one that has been carrying baby on the street, she finally got paper and she have disappeared on social media because she have now gotten document. That is the only reason she was making broadcasts, shouting and abusing people, constituting nuisance on social media. All of them. I want Biafrans to understand one thing. The reason why I'm touching all these places is for you to know that I follow everything that is happening. All of you know that I know why I have asked people not to attack Barrister Ejiofor. The time Barrister Ejiofor mentioned the criminals in the US, I came to address him. After addressing him, it did not stop us from discussing. It did not stop us from discussing. When they say all these things they are talking, I just look at them and laugh. I communicate with Barrister Ejiofor until the last minute. Until the last minute. And where we are going to discuss that is coming. One thing I have to tell you people is this. Do not fight somebody that his hands are clean. No matter what. Don't. Don't. Today, everything that I fought with autopilot IPOB is the thing some people are fighting today. We have left them. Today, ESN is intact. Today, the legacy is intact. Today, Biafra struggle is waxing very, very strong. Today, it is no longer a social media thing. We are now engaging countries, nations, of which green light has been given. Some of you don't know. There is nothing that is going to stop Biafra from coming next year. Nothing. So I want to warn those who will want to be telling people that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to do this and do that. That is not what we are here. I want broadcasters who are engaging in those kind of analysis to desist from that. Our main objective now is not to analyze what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do when he come out. Our focus and the focus of everybody should be that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out first. Don't start analyzing what he will do when he come out. We don't need it. We don't need it. What we need now is to analyze how he will be released. To analyze that they are going to release him tomorrow. To analyze that they are going to release him next tomorrow. We don't need to start analyzing what he is going to do when he come out. What is going to be his political opinion when he come out. How he is going to comment on the president and the presidential election. That is not what we are here. What we are here to do is to make sure that they obey their shenanigan court order and bring him out. When he come out, we cannot talk about whatever that is going to be his opinion. So I'm appealing to every Biafran broadcasters who have now made it to become a topic to start discussing what is going to be the opinion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what he's going to do when he come out. It is not necessary. We don't need those analyses. We don't need those broadcasts. Let us start analyzing the things that are happening now. It is not everything we will predict and analyze the future. Yet again, I have to appeal to all broadcasters that are analyzing what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do when he come out, to desist from that. It is a distraction. Allow those criminals who we have exposed to start analyzing that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out, he will not talk to Simon Ekpa, he is not going to do this. Allow them to say that. Allow them to make broadcast on that. We are not sure. Do not analyze that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have opinion on politics. We don't want to hear that. But of course, for those who don't want to be part of us again, you can go ahead. Because as it is now, we don't have power over obedient people. So we don't have power over them. If you are a broadcaster and you are obedient, then you can continue to do your propaganda against us. Well, I will tell you, at least Biafrans will know that this person or this channel is obedient channel. So we are going to know. But if you are for Biafra, no matter what, there are some things you are not going to be saying, especially when it has to do with election and our leader. We need to focus on analysis that will affect his release. When he come out, we are going to open a new chapter. The next chapter will be open immediately our leader is released from the DSS dungeon. We are going to open a new chapter. And that chapter is not known by anybody. So you wait as we are going to direct you step by step to Biafra next year. We will continue to maintain that there is no election, and Biafra will never allow any election in Biafra land in 2023. Nothing is going to stop that. Now, I want you all to listen to what I'm about to do. Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar have this to say.
Professor Ango. 35. I have traversed the whole 35. And I have traversed the whole of this country. I know the whole of this country. I have built bridges across this country. I think what the average Northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria.
Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is campaigning in the northern Nigeria. He went to his people to campaign. And what he...
Atiku is my leader.
Atiku Abubakar is in the northern Nigeria, campaigning for Nigeria, one Nigeria election. In that his campaign, he is telling the North that what you need is not a president from this Igbo. What you need is not a president from Yoruba. That what you need is a president from the northern Nigeria. That is the agenda of the Abuja Declaration of 1989. While Obi is here, praising Atiku and calling Atiku his boss, I want you to see things very deeply.
Atiku is my leader, my boss, and a senior brother. If he invites me for anything, I'll attend. Aspiring does not say I should not keep my relationship that is very cordial and everything. I'm aspiring. But remember, I always say, Atiku is a unifier. He believes in Nigeria. He's a good man.
You didn't hear that? He said Atiku is a unifier. Atiku believes in Nigeria. He said it. This is a man that some ignorant youth hold in a very high esteem. The man who come to say Atiku is a unifier. Listen to the Atiku who Obi addressed as a unifier. Listen.
And I have traversed the whole of this country. I know the whole of this country.
I know the whole of this country.
I have built bridges across this country.
I have built bridges across this country.
I think what the average northerner needs is somebody who is from the north.
I think what the average northerner need is somebody who is from the north. That is what Obi, the London boy, addressed as a unifier. A unifier to Obi is somebody who speaks like this. I just want you to see how fake Obi is. I just want you to see how Obi is going to serve the Fulanis, even if even if he don't become anything. Obi have soiled his hand to be a slave to Fulani. Now, this is a man Obi is telling you he is a unifier. How can Obi make decisions by regarding somebody like this as a unifier? So what Obi is trying to tell you is that if he becomes the president of Nigeria, he will appoint Atiku to become one of the unifier of Nigeria. And the unifier of Nigeria is somebody with such mentality. Listen to him.
More than I need is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria. And
what average northerner need is somebody who is from the north and also understand other part of Nigeria. Do you understand?
Who has been able to build bridges.
Who have been able to build bridges
across the rest of the country.
Who have been able to build bridges across the length of the country. Now, when you hear Atiku talk about building bridges, his bridge to Southeast is Obi, Peter Obi. He is not talking about building bridges as in, that he loves Igbos. He is not talking about building bridges that he is going to do something for Biafra. He's not talking about building bridges that he will appoint this and appoint those who believe in the Biafra nation in Nigeria. He's not talking about that. He's talking about those his friends, like Peter Obi, who is running as a president and he is still calling him a boss. That is the bridge Atiku is talking about here. Atiku is not talking about bridge of building road in Biafra land as Southeast is concerned. Atiku is not talking about opening port in Biafra land as part of the bridges he has built. Atiku is not talking about making sure that Enugu State have embassies, that American embassy is in Enugu State. That is not the bridge Atiku is talking about. Atiku is not talking about that American embassy is in Anambra State. That is not the bridge Atiku is talking about. Atiku is talking about the bridge of Peter Obi from Anambra. Wike, although they are now fighting each other. Somebody like the other person opposition to Wike in River State. That is his bridge. His bridge is Ugwanye in Enugu. That is his bridge. His bridge is not something that benefits ordinary people in Biafra land. His bridge is the politicians that they are nyashing each other. That is the bridge of Atiku. They nyash each other. Now listen.
This is what the Northerner needs. He doesn't need a Yoruba candidate.
Northerner doesn't need a Yoruba candidate. That is the unifier Obi is talking about.
Or an Igbo candidate.
Or an Igbo candidate. That is the unifier Obi is talking about. Let us listen to him again.
A Yoruba candidate.
Let us listen. Let us listen.
This is what the Northerner needs. He doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate.
Did you hear that? Northerner doesn't need a Yoruba candidate. Northerner doesn't need Igbo candidate. That is what Obi called a unifier. I want you to see how bad Obi is. Obi called him a unifier. And I have explained what the unifier of Obi is talking about and why when the article says you build bridges, I have explained the bridges article is talking about. Let us listen to him again.
To build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the Northerner needs. He doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate. This is what the Northerner needs. So I believe before you Nigerian of northern origin.
So I stand before you as a pan-Nigerian of northern origin. Do you understand? Everything he is saying here is to, to show the division, to show the dangerous diversity, to show that Atiku, all of them, have always had what we call the northern agenda. And they only show it whenever they gather themselves in the north. But look at Obi.
Atiku is my leader.
Atiku is my leader. My leader that Obi is talking about is a leader who will tell the north that you don't need Igbo president, Igbo candidate. The leader of Obi is a leader who will say that the north don't need a Yoruba man as a president. The leader that Obi recognized is a leader who are nepotic, who are Islamists, who are extremists. Atiku have accepted that killing of Deborah is justified for blasphemy. That is what Obi is regarded as a leader and a boss. Listen.
My boss, Atiku, is my leader, my boss, and a senior brother. If he invites me for anything, I'll attend. Aspiring does not say I should not keep my relationship. That is very cordial and everything. I'm aspiring. But remember, I always say, Atiku is a unifier. He believes in Nigeria. He's a good man.
Have you all heard it? Atiku is a unifier. I am only coming here to show Nigerians ignorant Nigerians, how those who are supporting the man, the London boy called Obi, and the decision he is making by recognizing Atiku as a unifier. And let me play the unifier again. That is how they will continue to make bad decisions that will affect your future today. Obi was the governor of Anambra State. There were no sewage system. Obi used the money he was supposed to use to build sewage system and bank it in his bank. And the money was multiplying. Listen to the Obi unifier.
Yeah, Professor Ango. 35. And I have traversed the whole of the country. I know the whole of this country. I have built bridges across this country. I think what the average northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the northerner needs. He doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate. This is what the northerner needs. So I believe I stand before you as a pan-Nigerian of northern origin. Thank you very much.
Did you hear that? He stands as a pan-Nigerian of northern origin. That is how they make the decisions that have affected you today. Tomorrow is sit at home for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As he continues, we have not seen him. And of course, I thank everyone that contributed and were part of the first Biafra Youth ESM fundraising yesterday. Our next mega fundraising probably is going to be on the 29th of this month. Save the date. Very, very important. Mega fundraising for ESN will be on the 29th of this month. Very, very, very important. 29th of this month is the last Saturday of the month. Mark the date somewhere and let us move with speed. I thank you, my fellow Biafrans. Tomorrow, sit at home. We are all sitting at home to make sure that we are not just saying for saying sake. We lead by example. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless Sunday Igboho. May God bless Eastern Security Network. May God bless our Umuada and their husbands. May God bless our media people. May God bless all of you that are supporting this movement. Today we had over 20,000 live viewers. Today we have recorded 20,000 live viewers. And on YouTube alone, we had over 4,000 viewers within 2 hours, 14 minutes. May God bless all of you. May God bless those back home. Chioma Irochukwu, thank you very much for a super chat. I appreciate you. We are going to Biafra. And our nation will come and nothing will stop it. From tonight, WOTO WOTO to the enemies of Biafra. 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 We are going home. WOTO WOTO to the enemies of Biafra. WOTO WOTO to the enemies of Biafra. And the people in Enugu State, keep your eyes open. We don't support propaganda. Keep your eyes open. We are equal to the tax. Whatever happens, we are going to protect and defend our land at all costs. Good night.
I thank Simon for actually bringing it up. I think Simon does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory. I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis.
Can I just quickly clarify? Did I hear you say that you helped rig elections before now?
Let me tell you one thing. Yes, I did. Because I'm now confessing the truth. Look, what do I mean? I don't have to go and change election. But you know, when you provide money, you give money to INEC boys to help you if they see any chance that they should favor you. You provide money to the security. All our elections in the past, I've been in this game for about 40 years. And I tell you, each time, it's not necessarily when I'm contesting election, but when my party sponsors a candidate. I would like that candidate to win election. And what we used to do before, we make provision for INEC, we make provision for security, we make provision for even agents of other parties, you know, so that they will not, you know, raise any objection to whatever we are able to get. So whether I rig myself or not, by providing those resources, financial inducement to the officials, I am rigging election.
Do you think that we can diminish or remove that influence as 2019 approaches?
I believe so, because you see, if people are born again like me and they refuse to do it, if we, the players, unless we give before somebody will take, right? So don't give, and then we will not get a taker. We will not get a taker. The most, why, you will not even ask me why am I thinking this way. Look, I am tired of being seen as a criminal in the streets of the world because we are a Nigerian. You know, you assume that everybody is an innocent human being until it's proven otherwise. But once you are outside this country with a green passport and they say that you are a Nigerian, even if you are a pastor or you are an imam, they will assume that you are criminally minded or you have criminal tendencies just because of where you come from. That must change. I am tired of living in poverty in the midst of plenty. I cannot, even no matter how much you have, every day you see people coming to you, relations, friends, this and that. My wife has given birth, my mother is in the hospital, this and that, every day. But if everybody had enough to take care of himself or herself, they won't come bothering you to say, give me this, give me that. And I believe that we have the resources that people can live a decent life without being beggars to those who have, just because we haven't gotten our own governance system right. So we need good governance, and good governance can only be provided by good people who are truly repentant, who actually are there to serve the people, who are concerned about the well-being of the people, being the primary concern of the well-being of the people. Then when we have such leaders, I can tell you they will judiciously and prudently use our resources for the common good of everybody.
I thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory.
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's midwife deliverance for our race, country, and continent. Please share this video. I am Dr. Israel Noyerem Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the US and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational air cover. The Taliban continued to attacks. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the US promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 US trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. US general could not believe an army could crumble at that rate.
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
It is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. There were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is number 1 on global terrorist list. Nigeria is number 3, second to Iran.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it. Farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Nigeria in seconds. Did you know that until 1958, Nigeria used the British West African pound, after which it issued its currency, Nigerian pound, in the year 1958, and then Naira was introduced on the 1st of January 1973. 1 pound was equivalent to 2 Naira. Did you know that the flag of Nigeria between 1914 and 1959 was a British blue ensign with a green Star of David surrounding a Tudor crown? It was later changed to a St. Edward's crown in 1953 with the white word Nigeria under it on a red disc. The colonial flag of Nigeria was adopted in 1914 following the amalgamation of southern Nigeria and northern Nigeria. The crest on the flag was also used on the flag of the Governor General of Nigeria. The flag was not universally accepted. Some native Nigerians, including Fela Kuti, refused to salute the flag, despite it being mandated in schools. In 1956, some Muslim Nigerians burnt the Nigerian blue ensign at Mecca, Saudi Arabia, because of the Jewish Star of David on it. In 1959, before the Nigerian independence, a competition to design a new flag was held, with Taiwo Akinkomi designing the new flag of Nigeria, which replaced the blue ensign in 1960. Nigeria in seconds. Nigeria in seconds. Did you know that until 1958, Nigeria used the British West African pound, after which it issued its currency, Nigerian pound, in the year 1958, and then Naira was introduced on the 1st of January 1973. 1 pound was equivalent to 2 Naira. Did you know that the flag of Nigeria between 1914 and 1959 was a British blue ensign with a green Star of David surrounding a Tudor crown? It was later changed to a St. Edward's crown in 1953 with the white word Nigeria under it on a red disc. The colonial flag of Nigeria was adopted in 1914 following the amalgamation of southern Nigeria and northern Nigeria. The crest on the flag was also used on the flag of the Governor General of Nigeria. The flag was not universally accepted. Some native Nigerians, including Fela Kuti, refused to salute the flag, despite it being mandated in schools. In 1956, some Muslim Nigerians burnt the Nigerian blue ensign at Mecca, Saudi Arabia, because of the Jewish Star of David on it. In 1959, before the Nigerian independence, a competition to design a new flag was held, with Taiwo Akinkomi designing the new flag of Nigeria, which replaced the blue ensign in 1960. Nigeria in seconds. Nigeria in seconds. Did you know that until 1958, Nigeria used the British West African pound, after which it issued its currency, Nigerian pound, in the year 1958, and then Naira was introduced on the 1st of January 1973. 1 pound was equivalent to 2 Naira. Did you know that the flag of Nigeria between 1914 and 1959 was a British blue ensign with a green Star of David surrounding a Tudor crown. It was later changed to a St. Edward's crown in 1953 with the white word Nigeria under it on a red disc. The colonial flag of Nigeria was adopted in 1914 following the amalgamation of southern Nigeria and northern Nigeria. The crest on the flag was also used on the flag of the Governor-General of Nigeria. The flag was not universally accepted. Some native Nigerians, including Fela Kuti, refused to salute the flag, despite it being mandated in schools. In 1956, some Muslim Nigerians burnt the Nigerian blue ensign at Mecca, Saudi Arabia, because of the Jewish Star of David on it. In 1959, before the Nigerian independence, a competition to design a new flag was held, with Taiwo Akinkomi designing the new flag of Nigeria, which replaced the blue ensign in 1960. Nigeria in seconds.